Hey guys, what's up? You know, I normally don't do this because I do a live stream during the pay-per-view. And I just say, if you want to know my thoughts on the pay-per-view, go ahead and watch that. But the pay-per-view was so bad, towards the end my language was so bad, that let's just say, we can't air that. So just briefly, here's my thoughts on WWE Hell in a Cell. They painted it red to look like a toy, probably to sell toys. So they took away anything that made it imposing because it looked like something that you might actually see because it's made of like fence. They painted it blood red or candy apple red or whatever, but now it looks like a big toy. The opening match, come to find out, wasn't great because they were only using a Hell in a Cell match to set up what would happen in the last match. So they have the match, and then basically, nonsensically, Jeff Hardy lands on a table and misses Randy Orton, and the referee is trying to call for help. Again, I apologize about the lighting. This is just impromptu. And if someone's really hurt, they throw up the X and the match is over. But if they're not hurt, the referee counts the pin. So the genius move in this match was for the referee to say these words to Randy Orton: "I'm not going to count the pin. He's hurt." It's a wrestling match. That's why you pin the guy. He's hurt. So the thought was for us to think, oh, let me quit. Let me take my suspension of disbelief that this is a wrestling match and is legitimate and go, oh, he's really hurt, so we got to stop the match. So in your first match, you're like making me remember, oh yeah, it's not real, and then breaking your own rule of what to do in that case. Okay, so that sucked. What's the next match? Oh, then we had the one maybe highlight of the night. Charlotte lost to Becky. There was a attempted a spear. Becky rolled through and got her cleanly with a surprise pin. By the way, Randy Orton won with a pin that did not come from a finisher. Becky won with no finisher. Daniel Bryan and Brie versus The Miz and Maurice. Maurice pinned Brie. No finisher. By finisher, I mean finishing move, which would mean that whoever won the match beat their opponent, was elevated a little bit because of the win. Whereas if you get a quick pin, you can almost say, it was a fluke win. So 3 matches, no finishers. Let's see what else was on the card. We had AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. And in another match where Joe got pinned, putting his finisher on AJ. And so after the match and everything's over, we get another angle where AJ had tapped. So, fluke win. Fluke win number 4. No one's won cleanly. Other matches on the card. What else did we have? Seth Rollins pinned by Dolph Ziggler in the Tag Team Championship match. Guess what? No finisher. Once again, fluke, quick pin. So no one was really better than anyone else. Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss. I guess you could say a finisher was used here, but supposedly the baddest woman on the planet needed like 15 minutes to beat up a 120-pound woman. Yep, so what else have we got? Other matches on the card. Screw it. Let's just get to the main event because that's all I really think of. Main event, toy red candy apples. Cage comes down. I'm sure they'll sell a lot of them. Dingus and Dingus come out, and Mick Foley's the referee. Pretty good match, actually. Other than the horrible overselling on commentary by Michael Cole, who sounds orgasmic every time that the big dog does anything. Other than that, tolerable match. The crowd was booing Roman, but you know, that's what they should do. But by and large, the crowd wasn't crapping on this match, and they were far into it. But it was then like, oh crap, okay, we have used up both guys' 6 moves that they can do between the two of them. They've done them all 5 times, so we now have to bring in the clowns. So you get the tag teams, you get the rest of the Shield, you get the rest of Braun's dudes. They come out, they climb up to the top, there's action, there's action, there's action. And then you get this lame thing where Seth and Dolph climb halfway down the cage. And I'm not saying anything about the height or the fall. What was lame was the fact that they're fighting back and forth and then they both let go. They should have done it differently. They should have just both come down and just fell. Okay, so they're down. Then Brock Lesnar comes down, kicks open the door, and you're like, all right, shit's on now. He gives his finisher to Braun. He gives a finisher to the big dog. And then he leaves. And the Hell in the Cell, on the night they're there to honor Mick Foley, they don't continue the match. No, you remember, Mick Foley fell off the cage, fell through the cage. They thought he was dead. They brought a stretcher out, stretchered him halfway up. He came back. Nope. Not tonight. Not tonight. No other referee appeared. The match didn't continue. Now remember, this is the same Roman Reigns that took the finisher of Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 5 times. Took it once tonight. Once. Let's see. Other great instances in WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels fell through the announcer's table early on. It was a bloody mess. So many people have just been ripped to shreds, injured horribly. Timmy White, the referee, never refereed again. Hell in a Cell. The match continued. Tonight, they each took a finisher. Guess what? That's all, folks. Good night. We're now going to paint the Hell in a Cell candy-colored clown colors. And because our 2 big tough guys, they can't continue. They can't continue. We're just going to call the match off. We're done. So that's the reason you don't see the entire 4 hours of that, because it was the biggest dog turd I've ever seen. And I've seen some dog turds from WWE. I have seen some real shiny pieces of shit. But this one, it's a golden nugget. Easily the worst pay-per-view in 2-3 years. And again, I've seen some really bad ones. Do they not have someone that can be like, hey, we don't have any matches where somebody just wins with a finisher? They're all screwy, fast finishes. They'll go, well, they were all clean. Come on. So yeah, this won't stay up long because I know that people will come looking for that. I may put like a link to it somewhere else, but I'm not going to have it where you can just get to it because I had a complete mental breakdown at the end of this. So yeah, don't waste your time. Don't bother. As bad a pay-per-view as you're ever going to see. By tomorrow, I'm sure you'll be able to find Charlotte and Becky online. And it was nice that they didn't ruin her at the end of that. But literally, if you take the... I came on at 5 and it went off at 10. For you to say, 5 hours of your time, Greg, we're going to make 16 hours of it. 16 minutes of the 5 hours worth your time. That's not a very good trade, especially when I'm paying for it. That's all I got. That's my review of Hell in the Cell. Biggest turd in 2018. I went without sleep. That's why my eyes look heavy. I went without sleep for this. Alright guys, I'll be back to reviews tomorrow. This ain't going to be up forever, so I hope you got the chance to see it. Stay vigilant. Have a good night.